We're going to go for a field trip. We're going to go see what Atchison, Kansas has. Let's go.
Hi everybody, this is Jennifer from Daylight Donuts. I am the manager of the donut shop. I know most of you have maybe come down and seen me before. We're going to go over a little bit of what we do here. So these are kind of the finished product we made today. You can kind of maybe pick your favorite one. So my cooks that make the donuts come in at 11 o'clock at night. While we're sleeping, they are making the donuts, and they make donuts all night long because it takes a really long time to make all of these donuts. So then they go to bed and we get up and we get to eat them all. So I'm going to go back and give you a tour of our kitchen, and you can kind of get an idea of how they make those. Okay, so this is our kitchen. This is where all the donuts are made. All the donuts are made by hand and decorated by hand. We don't have any automated machines back here. So it starts off, I'm gonna come back here. It starts back off at this table, and this is where they make the dough, and they use this giant rolling pin. I know we all have rolling pins at home, but nothing like this. And they roll out the dough. They've mixed. I'm going to show this mixer here. Not this one. This is our giant mixer that they mix the dough in. So we make a lot of donuts. Then it goes through the proofer over here. And this makes the donuts nice and fluffy and fat and soft, okay? And then this part is the fryer, and they dip it down. Right now it's really hot, if you could feel it. It's very, very hot from this morning. And they fry the donuts here, and then they push them off. And here I'll show you the secret glaze, which looks kind of yucky right now, but it sets there. And then we work on decorating them on down the line. Okay, so it takes like 2 hours to make one donut. So 2 hours. So that's a really long time to have to wait for a donut. So that's why we start really, really early. Okay? So then after all the donuts are made, then that's when I come in and look, I have to wash all the dishes. That's probably not the funnest part. So, so that's kind of what it takes. Then you come and see me when you come to pick up your donuts, you come and see me at the front window, and that's where you pick your favorite one. So I hope to see you through my window one of these days and have a donut.
Do you want me to do a whole welcome to the post office deal? So this is where mail gets dropped in from the outside and comes in. Just like that. And what we'll do with this, right here, we'll take these and make sure that it goes to Kansas City and then where it's supposed to go on the semi-trucks. And that is how your mail gets from your grandparents or your parents, and then it drops into our containers, and then we take care of it from there. Okay, why don't we take a look up front and see where your parents or your grandparents come and buy stamps from us to mail letters. Why don't you come this way? All right, come on this way, come on. All right. So here is where we take and process retail transactions, which means when your parents need a stamp, they're going to come and then right up to this counter here, they're going to ask one of our clerks for a stamp or to mail a package. And we will process that package and make sure that it gets to the right place. Okay? So this is what it looks like when it's closed. And we open the door up and we help the customers that come up to our counter. All right, come on kids, come on. Okay, we're going to introduce you here to all the carriers that deliver mail to Atchison. Okay, these are all the city carriers over here. This is the Atchison Elementary School, everybody. Say hi. And over here is all the rural carriers that deliver mail out in the country. And since you're from Atchison Elementary School, I will show you where we deliver your mail over here. This is Mark Matthias. He's a rural carrier that delivers your mail. Mark, you want to tell them where you deliver your mail or where the mail is?
Well, when I come to elementary school, generally, if we weren't under the COVID protocols and stuff, I would bring it to the secretaries down at the primary end. But with everything going on right now, they're not letting too many people in and out of the building, just to try to mitigate any chance of it going. So I just ring the bell, and they'll either Mrs. Hare or Mrs. The other secretary, she'll come to the door and get the mail from me. We deliver Monday through Friday because the secretaries and the teachers are not there on Saturday, just like you kids aren't. So they have a weekend. But on Saturday, we don't deliver the mail. I put it in a tub, and then on Monday, we will take it to the school at that point. It's up here on the case in the corner. I see a lot of your smiling faces outside at recess when I come pulling in. So I hope you guys enjoy the tour.
Can we see maybe what mail pieces we have for the day?
Well, so far,
What do we got for
just
today?
one little envelope for the elementary school today.
All right.
Not a whole lot today. Generally, they will get some packages if they order books and such, but today not much. So
Okay.
I hope you guys enjoy the tour.
If you want to show the staircase over there, up there, they used to have armed guards walk all the way around at the top when we used to receive gold from the railroads. This building was built in 1896, 1897. So a long time ago, the post office used to deliver and transport gold. And let's go ahead and take a peek up there. All right. So from here, you can see our P.O. box areas over here. That's where some customers receive their mail. You can see just on the outside through the window, there's somebody out there picking up their mail. And then you have all the carriers who you just saw casing up your mail to get ready to go out to deliver. And then over there, we have all the parcel throwing areas where we disperse all the packages for everybody. And then the carriers are taking up their routes. All right, everybody. If you want to follow me, let's go outside and look at the outside a little bit, okay? Come on this way. Come on. Follow me through this door. If you want to follow me, let's get a bigger picture of what the post office looks like out here. as you can see, a lot of detail work goes into building one of these old buildings. And back in the day, the postmaster, his office used to be at the very top. Inside, when we get inside, I'll show you where or how to get up to his office. But back in the day, that used to be where he worked. So why don't you follow me now, and I'll show you where we get and receive our mail from the Kansas City office from semis. So follow me, and I'll show you where we get our mail. Okay, here is where we receive our mail. Very large semi-trucks come up this road here, and then they back up and they stop here at this dock up to what we call a scissor lift. All right, this is what we call a scissor lift. Just like you would think normal scissors, just like this. This is how we get our mail off of our semi-trucks that bring us and transport our mail here. So let me show you. If you can see on the side, it kind of looks like scissors, where it opens up and lets us get the mail off the big old semi-trucks. What we do when we get the mail from the semi-trucks, they put it on this platform, and then we raise it back down. And now we're able to move the mail off of this onto the dock. This is a dock area. Tweak that, sorry. All right. So, when mail comes and transports from our Kansas City offices, it comes in, rolls back up to our dock here. We collect the mail from our scissor lift, and then we take it inside. After it gets inside, we transport and disperse the mail to the carriers that deliver your mail out in the country and in the city here. All right, goodbye. Thank you for coming and seeing what the Atchison Post Office is all about. Hope you had fun, and I hope you have a good tour the rest of your day. All right, take care. Thank you.
All right, come on in, guys. Come on in. All right. Hello, and welcome to Care Radio. That's K-A-I-R, and my name is Neil Weiland. I am the radio announcer right here, who you hear in the mornings, each and every morning, every weekday morning, I should say. And let's do the tour right now. Let's talk about some of the neat things we have here at Care Radio. You probably see this guitar right here, and you see all these names on it. And these are people who have been here, have been to the radio station, or have performed in Atchison. So some big country stars, and they've signed this guitar. And so guitar, country music, that's kind of what we do here at Care Radio. Now we also love our local sports teams like Highland Community College, who we cover, and also Benedictine College, the Ravens right up here. We cover them a lot with football and basketball. It's a big part of what we do. So sometimes when you listen to Care Radio, you're going to hear the sports announcers talking about games. What else do we have here? Well, we have a few trophies and plaques. And these are fun things where if we do well enough with our announcing, we get to win these awards. So it's really, really fun. Just like when you're in school and you do well enough on your assignments. When you do really good work, you get an A and you get a really good grade. So these are like our A's, our A pluses right here. And this is our main studio. Welcome to the main studio. A lot of neat things, a lot of machines, a lot of papers, and this is one of our drawing boxes. So sometimes we put names in here for contests that we do, and we'll shake up the box and we'll reach in and draw a name. So like right now, I drew Denise Cunningham, okay? So she was one of our finalists for something. So we use this, it's a prize drawing box. Maybe you guys have been in drawings too. We use those drawing boxes a lot. Okay, and if you come around here, you'll be able to see some of the computers we use each and every day. Let's count the microphones here in the studio. We've got 1, 2, 3 microphones, and you'll notice a lot of buttons, a lot of things like that. So you have to really pay attention to what is going on. You have different switches right here. This one is for the microphone, so if I push that on, and then I can be on the radio. So there's some fun things that can happen. Let's do a little sound recording right here just to see exactly what will happen right here. Okay, right now we're not live on the radio, but we can record things. A lot of times you hear commercials and things like that, you hear recordings. So we'll do a recording right now talking with the Atchison kindergarten class. And you see those bumps right there? Those are audio levels. Okay, so this is a little recording machine. I know a lot of you guys have worked with recording machines, and I can delete and I can just point the mouse right to where I want to go. I want to go to the beginning of the audio file. It's very easy. Watch this. Okay, so that's the computer button. So all these buttons have a specific function. They have a specific job to do. So we'll do a recording right now talking with the Atchison kindergarten class. And that's my voice right there. What if I want to do something fun or silly with this audio recording? I can go to this button here. I can do different effects. I can make it louder or softer. How about I do something really fun here? Maybe an echo, or maybe I wonder if I can distort it a little bit. See, this is just something that we can always play around with. Let's do 70s fuzz guitar. Let's see what that does. So we'll do a recording right now talking with so all little fun effects like that I get to do. What I said before, a lot of different papers are up here. You have to know what's going on in Atchison and be ready to talk about it. So I always have these papers right here. Everything is prepared to be read on the radio. We'll go ahead and maybe get close, maybe get a close shot of the computers up here. And as you see, it's really fun. Like right there, you see a countdown, and you see how this number is getting smaller and smaller? Well, that lets us know how much time is left in that song. That's the name of the song. That's the singer, Brett Young, and the song is over in 4, 3, and then it goes into the next thing. So this next thing will start, and then it'll be done in 15 seconds, and it'll move on to the next thing on the log. This is called a log. So we'll just watch this. This is actually one of our announcers talking right now, and he recorded this.
Right here, Hot Country 93.7.
Okay, and you hear how he's talking into this song, and the song is going to start with the lyrics in 2, 1, and then it starts right there. So computers are very, very important. It's important to be prepared and to have your notes in front of you and to have a system down. And of course, pens, we still take notes on good old-fashioned pieces of paper. Sometimes that's really convenient. Okay, so that's a little bit of a tour here. And there are other machines that we don't use as much, the CD player and the tape machine. We don't use that as much. We mostly use the computer, what we call digital. So computers are important. It's important to be paying attention and listening. Reading is important, so make sure you are practicing your reading. When your teachers ask you to read, make sure that you're doing that in your own time as well. It's going to help you so much later in life. Okay, so we're going to move now to our next studio. Okay, and this room is our production studio, and this is where we read commercials and we record them, and then they play later on the radio. So it's a very active room as well. It's similar to the other one, and you see some of the same computers, you see a lot of the same machines, you see a microphone, just 2 microphones this time, that's all we need up here. And you see this, something called a switchboard is what this is right here. A lot of buttons. It's very important to learn what each one does and remember. So it takes time, it takes practice, you make mistakes, and that's okay if you make some mistakes. That's what I've learned in radio. And I know you as kids, you make mistakes, you say, I'm sorry, it's my fault, how can I do to fix it? What can I do to fix it? So you learn that in radio, and you guys have been learning that as kids. So this is very simple. Same type of thing, so let's record something on here and see what it does. See if it does anything different or if it's the same. You see that? You remember that from the previous room we were in just a couple rooms ago. So I'm going to hit the little record button, and it's going to record me saying something right here. Saturday, October 3rd, talking with the Atchison Elementary School students. So you see how it makes those little bumps right there. I'm going to turn this off, and this is the computer. See, each one of these has a job that it does. See right there, that controls the computer, that word's computer, so we're going to turn it on, and we're going to put the volume higher so we can hear it. And it's going to record me saying something right here, Saturday, October 3rd, talking with the Atchison Elementary School students. So right like that, so that's pretty fun. Other things in this studio, time is always important with radio. You have to know how long a song is, how long a commercial is, so we're always looking at the time. So you'll see a clock there, you'll see a clock up there. Of course, we got to change the calendar, but we're big about having clocks all around the place. So let's go to just a couple more rooms. This finishes things up in there. And then this is something you have to watch out that we don't bump, because if we hit these buttons, we might go off the air. It might turn the radio silent. So you have to be careful that you don't bump anything. And come back down this way. And we'll finish back up. Okay, so we're wrapping up our tour right now. Some of the important things you need to remember are listening skills are so important, because I talk to many people throughout Atchison. I interview them, and it's so important to listen and to ask questions and to read. So really work at reading, and read aloud. Find something fun, a topic that you love, and read about it, learn about it, talk about it, because that's how you become a better communicator. And as you become a better communicator, you will grow, you will learn, and this will be a good job for you. So hang in there, listen to your teachers. They're very, very smart, and thank you guys so much for coming to Care Radio. My name's Neil Weiland. I am the announcer here. I do want to thank our great people here, the Atchison High School, for setting all this up today. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, welcome to Gambino's. Let's show you around. Come on this way and we'll make some pizza. All right, let me just get some gloves on here. All right, so we're gonna start off here rolling a pizza. Super simple. We're gonna make a pepperoni pizza. So we get some dough, flatten it out a bit, grab some flour, rub it on both sides. Now we're gonna get it nice and flat. I'm gonna turn on the roller, put it through again. And now we're ready for our pan. All right. So we're gonna put it over the pan like this. We're gonna grab this roller and we're gonna put some holes in it so it doesn't puff up. Then we're gonna grab this rolling pin and get the extra dough off. And now we have our pizza ready to go. So now we're gonna go over here and we're gonna make a pepperoni pizza. So first thing we need is a little bit of sauce. Grab a scoop, put it in like this, spread it nice and even. And now we need cheese. So I'm gonna come over here and we're gonna put 5 ounces of cheese on. So we're gonna grab this and we're gonna measure till we get 5 ounces. All right, that looks good. Put it on. Spread the cheese all the way out, get it nice and even. Maybe throw on just a little extra around the edges. Now, I'm gonna come back over here. Now, we're gonna put 16 pepperoni slices on. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And that's our pepperoni pizza, and now we just need to put it on through the oven. And it'll be out in about 5 minutes, and it's good and ready to cut. Here, we sprinkle some cornmeal so it doesn't stick. Slide it out. Now we grab our cutter and cut it like a medium. So down the middle, across, and then diagonal. Now we're going to get a plate. Sprinkle some more cornmeal. And that is our pepperoni pizza. Bon appetit.
Hey guys, why don't you come on in? Let me show you around the Fox Movie Theater. Walk on through here and take a look at our concession stand real quick. So we're excited to get you guys in here for a virtual tour. It's something we haven't done before, and we're hoping you'll enjoy it. A couple of things we'd like to let you know about are some of the changes that have happened in our industry, in our business over the years. So first off, before we look at what things are today, let's look at how things used to be. So if you follow me around the corner, I want to show you how movies used to be shown. We have here in our lobby an actual movie projector. Now this particular machine is what film used to be played on. Nowadays everything's done digitally, which you probably understand from being at home when you stick a DVD in a player and put it up on your television screen. Well, our business today is very similar to that. We have a small silver box that's a DVD player that plugs into a machine that downloads it just like a computer, and then we play it from that computer onto the screen. But back in the old days, as it were, before 2011, film was put on reels that would run through a machine and take up on another reel and then be shown through a bright light or a lamp that was in the back of this machine. So it was a lot different and it was a lot more bulky. Nowadays a whole movie fits in a box about this big. Used to be old movies fit in 2 boxes like this. And each box would weigh about 35 pounds. They could weigh as much as 60 if it was a 4-reel box. So a lot of weight, a lot of work to do it the old way. Today is much simpler. And I want to take you around to the theater and show you how things kind of look now. So let's go into our first and biggest theater. Now here, we're in our large auditorium. This seats 145 people. Now back in the old times, this was a 1-screen theater, and today we actually have it remodeled into 3 screens. What you're seeing is the largest of the 3 screens, and it seats 145 people. Now one of the neat features that we still have in today's theater is this medallion on the ceiling. This medallion was created when Fox redid the theater in 1949. We kept that feature so that people could kind of get a feel for how the movie theater used to look when it was opened originally in 1949. One of the other fascinating features, if you'll follow me down this way, is that this theater used to have a balcony. And originally it seated 920 people. Now it only seats 145 here. But upstairs, where the balcony used to be, had the other half of the individuals that would sit in here. Now I'm going to take you upstairs in just a moment. We're going to look at the theater up there that used to be the balcony, and we'll kind of get a feel of how the seating is different. Now if you look at this seating on the floor, so if you turn around and look at the auditorium, you'll see that the seats gradually rise to the back of the auditorium, a gentle slope. The seating upstairs and also back in the small theater are what they call stadium seating, or what you would see if you were at a large stadium. And that's a lot more popular in today's theaters. You've noticed it in other theaters, I'm sure. And what that does is allow you to sit up a little higher over the person in front of you so that you can see the show better. And upstairs, that feature was necessary because the depth that we had in the room versus the width, in the same way in the back. Once you have a space that's very narrow but very wide, stadium seating is utilized to give each participant or patron a better vantage point. So follow me, we'll go upstairs and we'll check out theater number 2 before we end in the back. Now what you're looking at along the way here are a lot of the original features. All of the fabric, all of the seating is brand new as of last year. But these elements like this, these pillars, actually hold the building up, and they were original to the 1949 remodel. Now back before any of you were born, there was a remodel that was done in 1993 and the theater opened in 1994. This area was where those projectors, like the one I showed you up front, sat. And what they did was set one projector here and one projector over here in a room that was divided with a wall. Each room showed a movie up on that wall right there. And then the parking lot side of this building is actually where people would come in. So I'm going to show you the old concession stand in the 93 remodel here in just a minute. But let's first go upstairs and check out the theater number 2, or the old balcony. Well, here we are on the balcony before we get into theater number 2. You notice we had a lot of stairs to get from here to there. If you just catch your breath real quick like I am, take a deep breath. We'll go one more round of stairs. Follow me. And here we are in theater number 2. Now this is the second of the largest theater, and it seats 120 people. You'll notice this particular seating area, each area is stadium, it's a stadium seating. Each platform is a little higher than the one in front of it, so it gives it a more stacked or staired effect. You'll also notice the feature in here, if you guys would just scoot back so you could see the side of this screen, you'll notice that the screen is angled back and it's curved. That technology is new technology, which actually works to focus the color cones of the movie to give the viewer the best picture on the market. So we've got the state-of-the-art viewing and sound and seating that you can get anywhere. And it's right here at Theater Atchison. All right, now you might think to yourself, well, I have a grandmother that doesn't like stairs, or I know a friend who's in a wheelchair. How would they ever get up to theater number 2? Well, unfortunately, they probably wouldn't if they can't walk on the stairs. But that doesn't keep them from seeing a movie. What we typically do, any movie that plays up here has to play downstairs as well. So through programming, we can actually switch theaters so that any movie we offer can be seen by anybody who can come into the theater, regardless of their ability to do stairs. So we're pretty excited about that. We even have some really neat state-of-the-art features that help people with sound and vision. So if they can't hear well, they can read it from a reader that picks up the information off the movie. And if they like to, they can put on headphones and actually get a more direct sound from everything that's being said on film. So that's pretty cool too. And we're going to go across the theater and go down the other set of stairs. I'm going to take you to theater number 1. So follow me. Watch your step. One feature I should have mentioned while I was here on the balcony was that we actually have restrooms on the second floor. Now, originally the restrooms were in the basement, but this set of restrooms keeps our patrons from theater number 2 from having to go all the way to the front of the theater where we came in. I'll show you those bathrooms as we go back to see theater number 3. Now, before we get back down the hall to theater number 3, I want to point out the architecture that was used in the new concession stand. This particular theater was designed back in the late 40s. They called that design era Art Deco. It's kind of a big word, don't know what it means, but what's important is that all of the new architecture and features that we used in today's build, remodel, is actually very similar to the old Art Deco. So the ceiling you see up here is original. It's rounded and circular. All of the doors and the walls and the stairs are all rounded and circular, and so is the concession stand. So it keeps it in theme, or in style as they say, with the architecture of the building. So it turned out really neat. All right, theater number 3 as promised. Follow me. Now this is our long hallway. You might have remembered this if you've ever come to see a movie here. But this actually gives our patrons access from the parking lot to the front of the building. But I mentioned back in 1993 that they actually flipped the concession stand around. You'll notice here on my left, these are the bathrooms we were talking about upstairs. And this is theater number 3. Now, before you were born, like I was saying, this was actually the concession stand from the 1993-94 remodel. And it is now a 20-seat theater. And it's got stadium seats just like the ones that are upstairs on a smaller version. So you can kind of see here as well. It's hard to see because you can't get up to it, the curved screen feature here. But what's really neat about this theater that it's intimate. That means it's small. So you have a smaller audience, but you still have a gigantic screen with the professional theater sound. So it's really neat. Well guys, that's about all the time we have on our tour. I know you've got to get on to the next thing. I sure appreciate you guys being here. Looking forward to having you back to see a movie. Coming this weekend is Coco, which is a great Pixar film. We also have Hocus Pocus, just in time for the holiday season. So come back and see a show here at the Fox Theater. Thank you.
Hi, welcome to the Atchison Fire Department. Come on in here, we'll show you around. So this is kind of the entrance into here. This is where everybody first comes up to come through the doors, and you know there's somebody will be sitting up here to greet you as you come in, and here's the captain's office, and there is a training room, and then it goes back into a kitchen, and the bathrooms are down this hallway right down here. But then out here is what everybody wants to see anyway, right? So we're going to go out here and check out the trucks. We have a couple out there right now. So out there we have 2 of our trucks, and we'll show you the lights and the sirens and let you hear the horn and how loud everything is on those. And we'll go through some of the stuff on the trucks so you can see what kind of equipment we have and what we use on emergencies, and some of the trucks that are inside. So this one here, this is engine 2, and this will go on all the fire calls that we get. Anytime we get a call for a house fire or a building fire, something like that, this truck's going to go on it. We'll have 3 to 4 people inside of this truck at that time. We'll have a driver sits up here and a captain on the other side. And then in the back here is where somebody rides, and they put the pack on their back, and they'll have their full gear on, and we'll have somebody put all that on for you too. And then as you work down, we just have all the different things that we might need. Like this is the hose that we pull off, and it's all wrapped up in this type of, it's called a cross lay, and we'll take off running with it. And at the end of it, we have a nozzle. And that nozzle, once we pull the lever, the water comes out of the truck and fills up the hoses, and then we can spray out the fire. So We have that, and then in here, and in each compartment, these trucks are like great big rolling toolboxes. We have a tool for all kinds of things that we might need. We have some extra nozzles, and we have detectors to find gas leaks. We have some of that crossing tape that you see if there's a scene and you can't drive through it, you know. We have all the axes and the sledgehammers and things we might need if we need to get into a house. If it's on fire and we have to chop a hole in the roof, we have the axes here and here. And then just every compartment has something in it, and we need, you know, we've needed at some point. So these are the newer style trucks, these type of fire trucks. And if you look behind us, we have one of the old style trucks. And this was a truck that we used here a long time ago. I think it was 1927. This old fire truck here was used, and you can see how different it is. This truck still gets used. Sometimes we use it in parades. Sometimes we take Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus down to the mall when they light up the lights down there. And it still works. It's old, and instead of the loud sirens that you'll hear here in a little bit, we have a bell. And somebody would drive, and as they were driving down the road, the other person would be back here ringing this bell. And it was really loud, and that was how loud, that was all the louder it would go. And we also had a little siren, and you would step on this, and between the two, that's how everybody would hear and see us coming. So kind of a neat old truck, but still does work. And then you go to the great big truck, and that's our ladder truck. And sometimes you see that out on the road. It's for the high rescue things and for any building that's really tall, like down at Mall Towers. And that's a really tall truck. It'll go up 100 feet in the air, and if you look up there, there's that big white ladder across the top, and in the basket is somebody would stand up there, and they would have a hose, and they could put out fire. But for all you kindergartners, if you're wondering about another person or addition to our team, we have five to six firefighters. We have 6 firefighters on each shift, and then we have an extra member. And if you look back at that old antique truck, you might recognize one of them. It's our old friend Fire Pup. Fire Pup still comes out and helps us all the time. He likes to ring the bell and make a lot of noise and dance and do all kinds of crazy stuff. So always fun to see Fire Pup. So if you ever see him in the parade, be sure to wave at him. He'll wave back to you, okay? If you want to look up inside here on this big ladder truck like we were talking about, we've got the great big open jump seats, and that's where the firefighters can ride that are getting ready to go in and fight the fire. And I'll turn the lights on here. Excuse me. And inside there, these are really tall. And for us, it's really, you know, they're really high ceilings, so it's nice to be able to get inside and have room to get into your seat. And then you can sit right down inside of these things, and they kind of look like backpacks. So you slip into them and put your shoulders in there, and you pull the straps down, and you've got one that goes over your stomach, over your waist, and you pull it. And once everything's good and tight on your back, you can lean forward, and now you have the air pack on your back. And I can show you what we look like with all of our gear on, with our packs on our backs, our helmets, and our gloves. So we'll do that here in just a little bit. We'll have one of the firefighters put them on for you, okay? So these things just mount right into the seats, so it makes it really fast and easy for us to get ready to go if we have an emergency and we need to, you know, get suited up really fast. It's all about going really quick. If you want to, we'll walk back here by this old truck again, and I'll show you one other thing that I think a lot of people don't realize that we have, and it's this boat. And we use the boat for a lot of just water emergencies. And sometimes people will be on the river and their boats will run out of gas, or their boat will break down, or something will happen and they need help, so they'll call 911 and we will come out and bring the boat. We've got a pickup over there that we can hook up the boat to, and we drive down to the river or to the watershed dams here in town, and we can go down and put the boat in the water and go out and rescue people. But on the boat we had to add some lighting and this light up here so people could see us and they know where we are. So we have these type of lights here. These will help really good at nighttime. You know, they swivel and they move around. They're really, really bright. And then if you look behind us, we have those lights. And it's just like what we have on the fire truck. But that lets everybody see where we are on the water at night. So now if you'd like, we'll go outside, we'll check out the trucks real fast. We'll turn on the lights and the siren so you can hear that and hit that really loud air horn. And then we'll got a couple more treats for you. We'll have somebody put their gear on and then we'll slide down the pole, okay? Come with me. So out here is engine 3, and engine 3 goes on just about every single emergency that we have, whether it's a car wreck or a fire or somebody who's just not feeling well, will show up in this truck. And like that one back there, every compartment has something in it. You know, sometimes we'll have things that we need for fire, sometimes we'll have for medical calls, or if somebody's trapped and we need to get in and rescue them. We have extra air packs like I showed you that was in the seat back there. We have extra nozzles and the hoses and all kinds of just equipment that we need. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to jump inside. I'll open this door up so you can see what's going on back here. There's the extra gear that we have right now for whoever's driving today. They'll have their gear back here. And we have a monitor so we can help people if they're having heart problems. We have other things right now with all the coronavirus. We have a kit there that we can put our special clothing on, and the masks and all the stuff that we have. And then that red bag in there is for medical, and if somebody gets cut or hurt or something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire this truck up so you can hear it run, and then we'll turn on all that stuff if you want to go up to the front of the truck. But I'll give you a warning before I hit that really loud horn, because all that air horn noise comes out of this bumper here. And it's really loud, so I don't want to spook anybody. Hey Aaron, would you turn that one on so we can kind of compare and contrast? So that truck that Aaron's getting in right now, he's got one of the older trucks and they've changed the lights up. They're not as bright as what's on this truck. But they are pretty bright. Now, if you want to hear him turn his siren on, and now we'll do this truck here that I'm inside. Go ahead. And now for in 3 seconds, 2, 1. All right. And we have to have those loud horns and loud sirens so people know when we're driving down the road. They can see us when they're in their car, or they can hear that we're coming and they can pull off out of the way so we can get through to the emergency. And now we'll go back inside. We'll get somebody to put on their gear, and we can show you what we look like when we look like this, and then when we're fully clothed. So you'll know that it's us, because sometimes it looks like we're dressing up for Halloween. And you know, sometimes people get scared of us when they see us in those outfits, but I want you to know that it's just us. We just look like this, but we're putting all the clothing on and the air pack, and we might look a little funny and sound a little funny, but it's just us, and we're there to help, okay? So if you will, you come back inside here and we'll have somebody put their gear on. You gonna put it on? Awesome. think firefighter Corby, she's going to put her gear on. She's been with the fire department now for about 8 months, maybe 9 months now. And she's a second generation firefighter. Her dad worked here for a long time and retired after 18 years of working down here. So kind of neat. So what Corby's gonna do, she's gonna go from right now looking the way she does to putting on her full gear. And if we had a, yeah, probably be a good idea. If we had a fire or an emergency call to where she has to be dressed, what we try to do is as soon as the alarm goes off, we try to go from dressed like this to fully dressed in 1 minute. And that means going with our boots, our pants, our coat, our helmet, gloves, ready to go. And that means getting in the truck and ready to go in 1 minute. So that's what we try to do. Every time the calls come in, no matter where we are in the station, we could be outside mowing the grass or working on another fire truck or whatever it is. We have to be ready to go, because the faster we can get somewhere, the better help we can get to you, okay? So here we go. Corby's gonna go ahead, and she doesn't necessarily have to do it in a minute, but you should see all that she's doing. She put the hood on because that's gonna go up over her head and protect her ears. And she steps into her boots, but her pants are tucked around. And then all she has to do is pull up her pants. Now she's got her pants on, her boots on, she's zipping up the front, and she'll fasten the little belt buckle, and she's almost already dressed, and that fast. She's got the hood on, and now she's gonna put on the coat. And if you'll see inside her clothing, she's got all kinds of protective stuff. This outer shell is what they call is water resistant, and it's got pads built into the knees. So if we're crawling around on the ground, you know, our knees don't get hurt, or if we crawl through glass. These boots have steel in the toes and steel plate that runs up the bottom of her feet. So if she were to step on a nail, it wouldn't poke her feet. And then as you go up inside the pockets, she might have tools, or she might have her gloves. Go ahead and you can zip that up. And everything that we try to carry is things that we need for an emergency. So she has a flashlight that's hanging here. She got a spot here that she could put a radio in, kind of like a walkie-talkie, so we could talk to each other. Now she's got her hood on, she's got her coat on, her pants, her boots, and now she's gonna put on one of the last pieces of the puzzle, and she has her helmet. And her helmet's gonna protect her head from anything that could fall and hurt her. She's got built-in safety goggles that will come down and protect her eyes. And she's got a chin strap to hold her helmet on. And yeah, it's locked, that's all right. But there it came down, it comes down out of the helmet, and that'll protect her eyes from anything that might fly up and get her. Now, with her dress like that, she's pretty much ready to go. She's got a pair of gloves that she can put on, and then she can go into a fire, and the gloves will protect her hands from the heat or from glass or anything that could be in there that could cut her too. So now she's ready to go, other than the one thing, and I showed you that over in that big ladder truck, is that air pack. And what we'll do, if you'll, I'll go grab one for you. When she puts this air pack on, it's gonna look a little different and sound a little different when we turn it on. Now normally on the call we'll put all this on ourselves. I'm just kind of helping out right now. But with the air pack, so anytime that we have the air pack on, you need to be ready to go from being dressed like this to having that on in 90 seconds. So 1 minute and 30 seconds, and you'll have this on. And what I'll do, if you'll hear this beep, there's air inside this bottle. And the air inside that bottle is fresh air that we can breathe. So if we're inside a smoky house or a fire, you know, you can't breathe that air in because that smoke is so bad. So there's air inside this bottle, and it comes down this hose into this piece here, and it'll plug into her mouthpiece there. And every time she takes a deep breath, air comes out of this bottle and goes in there, and that helps her breathe good fresh air. And then the mask goes over her eyes, and that protects her face too, so she doesn't have to use that visor. She's pulling the hood around now, and this is a protection that covers her ears and doesn't let her ears get burned. And now she's all sealed up. So if you'll hear this when I turn the bottle on, it'll sound kind of funny. So now that means she's got air ready to go. And she's hooking up. And every time she takes a breath, you can hear that. She kind of sounds like Darth Vader. She has this thing here, it's a voice emitter. So when she speaks, we can hear her a little more clearly. Go ahead and say, hi, kindergartners. Hi, kindergartners. It's a little easier for us to hear. So what'll happen if Corby doesn't move for about 15 seconds or she gets hurt, if she doesn't move, this thing will start to make a chirping sound. And you'll hear it again. We'll hear it start making music. Now we'll let it go through the alarm. And what happens is that's a warning. So if you hear that and you don't move, it'll go into an alarm. And once it goes into an alarm, this will light up red so we could see you if we're in a dark place. We could see if you're hurt or where you're at. It'll light up red and it makes a really loud alarm. But if you're not hurt and you're working and you're just kind of standing still for 15 seconds, it'll start to go. And you'll see firefighters out there, it kind of looks like they're dancing. Well, that's just to make that alarm go off, so it doesn't make it a loud sound. But here we go, it's about to get really loud. Okay. You're gonna have to set it. So if Corby were not to move, that would do that, or she could push this red button right there, and that's also a call for help. You know, we could hear that and then find out where she is and go help her if she needs to. But what I wanted to let everybody know is, you saw Corby before she put all this on. She looks really different, but it's still Corby. So if we go to your house and you call 911 and your house is on fire and you're in your room and we're coming to help, don't run away from us, okay? Don't be scared of us, because we're not there to hurt you, we're there to help you. So if you see us, come run to us, come over and grab us or shake us or say, hey, I'm right here, come help me. And we will come to you, okay? Please don't run and hide from us, because we want to help you and that's why we're there. Thank you, Corby, for doing that for us. I'm going to shut the pack off for you. Go ahead and clear that, but you should be good. All right, kindergarten class, I've got one last thing I want to show you. There's a pole back there behind us. And so what we have upstairs is we call them it's the dormitory, and that's where everybody sleeps at night. So if we get a call in the middle of the night, a lot of people will come down the stairs, and they'll come right out of the bedroom upstairs and come down all these stairs and come out to one of those fire trucks that are parked in here. But some people, especially the new people, not me because I'm old, will go upstairs and the room's up there and the call will come across and they'll grab onto the pole and they'll slide from upstairs down to the downstairs. And if you're ready, I'll get somebody to go down the pole. Aaron, are you up there? Yeah. Okay. Here in 3 seconds, Aaron's going to come down. So what we'll do is we'd hear the alarms go off at night, and then somebody could come over and lift the covers off of that hole that you just saw and then come right down. And it's a lot faster to come out of bed and come down the pole than it is those stairs. So in 3 seconds, here comes Aaron. In 3, 2, 1. And there he is. He went from upstairs to down here right now, and we're ready to go, jump in a truck and take off. So, well, kindergartners, I hope you had a good time watching this video. I hope you learned something. And if you ever have any questions, you can always feel free to call down here to the fire station. And if you ever have an emergency, whether your mom's sick, your grandma's sick, you're sick, anybody's sick or needs help, please remember to call the number 911, and you'll talk to a nice person on the phone, and they'll ask what your emergency is, and then the fire department or the police department or the ambulance will come out to help you, okay? Thank you. Have a good day and stay safe.
Hello, I'm Officer Moore. Welcome to the Atchison Police Department. Yeah, it's very heavy.
Weighs about, I don't know, 45 pounds to 50 pounds. So they're really heavy.
And behind Officer Ellerman is the other door. That is our armory. It's where we keep all of our ammunition and firearms, and that's where all the SFT firearms and everything are also located. They only pull those out when they are needed.
helmets or other gear that we have to wear. You know, this is just for special response.
But there's also outside, people come up off the street that don't want to call dispatch directly or aren't able to. They can come out here, and there is a call box. It says press button for police assistance. The communication center, which is our dispatch center, if you hit the button, it calls up to the dispatch center, and dispatch will let an officer know that we have somebody outside the police department wants to speak to an officer. Jump behind you. Here's Mike Wilson is the current police chief, which is also what this building is named after. They dedicated this building to Chief Wilson. He has been a big, huge part in getting this building built for us. He fought for it for years to try to get this building built, and it was much needed, and he did a fantastic job with it. And there's a lot of old ones. 1952, look at our cars back in 1952. 46. 1912 is the oldest one. Nope, 1900. How about that? That was horse and buggy back in 1912, 1900.
This one, the motorcycle. Like that was that officer's personal motorcycle he bought just so that he could ride it around, wouldn't have to walk. That was what they did back then. If you wanted something extra, you paid for it out of pocket.
We are required to keep our cars clean inside and out. That is up to the officers that drive the vehicles. And we do share vehicles. There's 4 shifts, so there's potentially 4 officers that drive each vehicle. So it is up to those officers to fill the vehicle up with fuel and keep it clean throughout their duty. Generally, most officers carry a patrol bag. In the patrol bag, I have ticket books, I have a jacket, flashlight, a snack or something, water bottle, glasses, you know, anything that you might need throughout the shift, you carry in your patrol bag. This is a caged vehicle, so people might have a little bit more of a hard time. We have our microphone that when we get on traffic stops, you take the microphone and you clip it onto your lapel or your belt, whatever you'd like, and it does do audio recordings. Our video, we have a video camera here that shows the front of the vehicle and a panoramic view, and an indoor camera here that shows the rear seat. But mine has the cage, so you don't see the rear seat quite as good. Our radar is here, and our readout for the radar is here. So if we're sitting stationary, you can click it, and I can read the radar of the vehicles coming over the 6th Street there. Your sirens are controlled here. And your lights are controlled here. And as soon as you turn on your lights, like I said, it automatically kicks on your recording. So as soon as you hit the lights, it automatically hits record, and it starts audio and video recording of your stop or whatever business you're conducting. And there is takedown lights. Without my red and blues on, there's a white light that at night we can use. It'll show left, forward, and right. So I have lights on both sides that shine off on both sides, and one light that shines forward to the front of the vehicle. So it is really bright. It'll light up a large area. But that's, we also carry an AR-15 in our vehicles. Mine is on the roof because of the cage. Most vehicles have their AR between the 2 seats. Mine is on the roof because we don't have the space for an extra, anything extra between the seats. I'll get out and you can take a little closer look inside, man. And this is in the back of the cage. It is very tight back there. It is not meant for comfort. This is simply for transport, and it is not comfortable back here. I don't recommend it. It doesn't pay to to commit crime and go that route. It's very tight. In the back of the vehicle, we have our vehicle unlock kits, Slim Jim. We have a wedge. Our wedge is in here. We have a wheel. If there's an injury accident, we have to take measurements of the scene. So we use a measuring wheel here, and our stop sticks. Stop sticks are used for vehicle pursuits. If we have to try to deflate the tires on a vehicle, we throw stop sticks in front of the wheels to try to get them to run over them and deflate tires. This is also my rear radar detector, radar. There's a button on there I can hit, and it will read radar from the rear of the vehicle. That's about it for the vehicle.